Okay, welcome back to another episode of the Untitled Video Game Podcast.
Yep. And today we're actually playing a Venus Wars RPG game that was released only on the Famicom. We're playing it on the Retron 5, so we actually got a patch for the English translation there. This gives a little bit of the backstory to Venus Wars. Venus Wars was an anime that was released in, I want to say mid-80s, late 80s, or something like that. We first saw it in the early 90s. We saw it when we were when Sci-Fi Channel was doing an anime Saturday morning kind of thing, and it was it was very different. It was like the first anime I've ever seen outside of Speed Racer.
Yeah, I think we watched Dragon Ball as well.
I had a hard time remember if I actually saw that before this.
Yeah, I guess it's hard to say.
This game is a little bit weird. It's a like a strategy RPG kind of thing with really interesting actions. I think you have to pick everybody, so I'm not even sure when they give you the option to pick.
Yeah, that lets you see who's going to be there.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. So anyway. This came out when it came on. Was like I think they had shown something previously before on Sci-Fi Channel anime, and we knew they were going to be doing it, and we decided to watch it. And I don't really know what made us watch it because at the time, I'm not gonna lie, we were kind of no one knew if anime was even right to watch. We were younger. Some people frowned upon it, that it was like perverted and perverse and stuff like that. And there are some adult situations in this show. I mean, honestly, there is. And people die left and right, and then there's some other stuff that happens. So it seemed like taboo to watch, and it was amazing though. It has admittedly kind of corny acting every once in a while. There's one incredibly stereotypical character in this later towards in the end of the show, but it was so amazing, and I was like, is this a series? I mean, is there going to be more than one of these? And it just kept on going, and I was like, wow, this is really long, because at the time I couldn't comprehend of a movie, animated movie, that wasn't like Disney or something like that.
Yeah, because we were young, so
it was like 1991 or
the
something.
only animated movies that we watched would have been like something like Land Before Time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it didn't really occur to me at first. I was thinking, oh man, this would be like a really great series to watch. I was thinking like Batman the animated series, something like that. I was like, man, I can't wait to watch more of this. And then when it was over, it was like, man, it really ended. It's done. And is there another one? Is there a sequel? I don't believe there actually is. It's just the one, Venus Wars. And so that actually kind of bummed me out a little bit. But then the next week, I believe it was the next week, they showed Vampire Hunter D.
Yeah, which is also great. And if it wasn't Vampire Hunter D, it would have been Lily Cat. There were some...
It was either Vampire Hunter D or Lily Cat. And both blew my fucking mind. Like... Lily Cat is like The Thing if it was an anime.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate, I'd say.
And so, like, that show gave me nightmares, not to be believed. And then, Vampire Hunter D is like a character that they thought, how badass can we make somebody? And they thought, pretty badass, we can do a lot with this guy. Okay, so this is like I said, it had a really interestingly strange combat mechanic. You actually drive the motorcycle, which is a major part of the game of the show, and you actually had to shoot down these things. It's hard as hell. I've never really been very good at this. We've only played it a couple times, but nice, you got them both. He got you.
It's a bullet.
Yeah, he got you pretty good. I can't remember if he's actually out. Yeah, he is. So Yeah, hard as hell. In Venus Wars, they had it's about a gang, a biker gang that does races, and they have these motorcycles, and they stand up to fight against an invading country on Venus that's invading their country, and it's about child soldiers, and it's just horrible. It's a really horrific world that they live in, and it's a phenomenal show. I highly recommend watching it. Well, anyway, so this whole episode was just about anime. Different ones we've seen,
Damn. It's hard for me to see the bullets for some reason.
Well, it's not a great color palette, I'll give you that.
My ass handed to me here.
Yeah, you are. I think I saw somebody do this without losing a single person.
I think I was doing better last time. You can kind of see their bullets coming at you from a while back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see them like trailing on the ground, but it's really hard because of flickering and whatnot. So, yeah, like they had to hit you like one time and you got killed.
I got missiles.
Yeah, you do, but you have so many of them. But those the main cart thing, they refill your missiles each turn. I think you got him with your missile. So
it's hard because you can actually just rear the vehicle back and shoot them, but it's not easy. There we go.
There you go. That's how you do it. Hero, who is in fact the hero of the show. Anyway, this show started my secret love of anime. Kind of had to keep it a secret because a couple of my brothers never really got it. They thought it was weird, and then
Well, plus it was like, am I allowed to watch this?
Yeah, no,
because that guy's dead. That guy, and that person's like almost naked.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not allowed to watch this, but I'm watching it.
Yeah.
It looks like a cartoon, and everyone else is okay with me watching cartoons.
Yeah. And then, there was another one. I'm trying to remember what it was called. There were a lot of really good ones that released during that time for Sci-Fi Channel's thing. And after the Sci-Fi Channel stopped showing them, they did, Cartoon Network had their Toonami thing. But most of the time, I really didn't care for the ones they showed. They showed Dragon Ball. I just never been a Dragon Ball fan. I was not really a Speed Racer fan, and they showed some of that occasionally. There was one that they showed that I never actually saw, and I later watched it, and that was Berserk. They actually showed Berserk on Toonami, but it was heavily censored. And anyone who's seen that understands why they had to censor it, because holy shit. That is definitely not one that younger kids should watch.
Oh yeah, Berserk.
Yeah.
They, I don't know if we brought up that some of these things have video games.
Yeah.
Attached to them.
Obviously there's this one, Ghost in the Shell, which
has
several,
at least 3 that I know of.
Is that counting the newer one?
Yeah, that's counting the newer one.
I think there might be 4 because I think there were 2 on the PlayStation and 1 on the PlayStation 2, or something like that, or vice versa. I think there actually is 4, but yeah, it's crazy. And then there is a Berserk video game which is on the Dreamcast. We actually own that one.
There's technically 2 Berserk video games.
There's a new one coming out.
Well, no, there's one for the PlayStation 2 that only came out in Japan.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, well, there's that. But then there's Berserk Warriors coming out.
Oh, really?
Yes, there's that Dynasty Warrior style game where you play as Guts and Casca and them, so.
Wow.
Yeah. I think that we'll play that on one of these episodes because that would be a great day for everyone. Then there's a couple other animes. I think maybe Battle Angel and Alita might have had a video game. I can't remember. What happened there?
I think it just did like direct damage or something.
Oh, okay. So there were, but anyway, after Sci-Fi Channel stopped doing theirs, I didn't watch animes for a while. But then we started, we got Netflix, and I think it was Netflix that really got me into anime. Because one day I was home by myself, it was a day off, and I was looking through the things, and I was like, I keep on hearing people talk about this Ghost in the Shell thing. And I'm a really big fan of like, cyberpunk kind of stuff. Blade Runner is one of my favorite movies of all time. I like the first Matrix a lot. And so I thought, you know what, I'll watch this and just see how it is. I figured it wasn't going to be good because I was thinking that maybe I would kind of tricked myself into liking anime when I was a kid. Because it had literally been like 10, 12 years since I've seen one, maybe longer. And I knew I still didn't like Dragon Ball and the other one, Speed Racer. So I thought, yeah, I'll watch it, see what happens. And oh my god, the music, the sounds, and the story of Ghost in the Shell was so good that I just couldn't stop watching it. And then I got you to watch it that night when you got home, and I was like, man, we gotta watch this.
Yeah, I mean,
and then I've actually have watched Ghost in the Shell movie 6 more times since then, because I watched the special edition version after that twice, and I watched the one that where they have like some like CGI cutscenes added to it. I can't remember what that one was called. I didn't really like that one as much because they changed a bunch of stuff. And then I've watched it again not too long ago. I mean, it was amazing. And then, of course, I love the series.
Standalone Complex.
Standalone Complex 1 and 2. Both amazing. And some people say, oh, it's boring, or it's not as good as everyone says.
I got killed right when I did that. I wonder if he dies. No?
Did he die?
He's good.
Okay.
Or did he die? I don't know.
Some people say it's not as good as everyone says it is, who are fanboys. To that, I have this to say. Fuck you.
It's amazing.
Yeah. That Standalone Complex 1 is fantastic. I actually kind of like Standalone Complex 2 slightly more because I like the redesign a little bit, and I like the song. The song in the game is the best.
We need to watch that series again. I forgot that song is so great.
Yeah.
I like the ending song of the first season, though.
Yeah, the ending song of the first season is pretty good. So, there was that. So once, I watched all the Ghost in the Shell stuff, I was just like, in it to win it. Anything that was anime, I watched it. Even if it ended up being really bad, I would still watch it. And there was a lot of, like, Secret Shame ones that I watched.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought it was just, fun to watch just because it was, ridiculous.
Oh, Hero's dead.
No!
Yeah, he's dead.
That's not good. Hopefully, maybe they don't actually die and they can get him back at the end.
Well, we'll see.
Miranda. You got Miranda. She kicks ass.
I was thinking of other anime games. We actually do own Orphan.
Yeah, we do own that.
And we own Full Metal Alchemist.
Do we?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, that's weird. We haven't really actually played that, have we?
I think so.
Did we?
Yeah.
Huh. I remember it. Orphan is one of those ones that's like, was that one as good as I thought it was? Or
I think it was, in our experience, an early kind of fantasy one.
Right.
Yeah, it was kind of like set in a fantasy world. Guy was like a sorcerer.
Yeah.
And there are better ones.
There are a lot better ones,
but it's not like
it wasn't
terrible.
horrible. It just wasn't
nothing really happened.
Yeah.
I guess like you could actually think about the whole show, and
there's like points where you're like, oh man, what's going to happen next, and then nothing happens. But it's not terrible, and but the video game is.
Yes, the video game is terrible.
And actually, yeah, there are terrible animes, and one that I will maintain to this day that is terrible is Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, Cowboy Bebop is awful. So is Akira.
Yes, Akira is boring, really boring, and but you know.
Oh. Yeah.
Somebody did an article. I can't remember who it was. I'm trying to remember the name. It's a pretty famous like. I can't remember the name. Anyway, he was talking about fan service in anime, and people are saying we need to stop it because no one's ever going to take anime seriously with fan service in it. Well, he said that if you want more people to enjoy anime, you gotta appeal to everybody in the mass market, and there are people who just really want that, and so you have your, the types of animes, the gun porn, the ones with lots of women with exaggerated attributes like High School of the Dead, which I love.
It's a great show,
but
you gotta recognize it's great because it does more of like a John Romero. Is John Romero? Is that what I'm thinking of?
George Romero.
George Romero.
John Romero is Doom guy.
Okay, yeah. So it's George Romero style zombies.
Yeah.
And the fan service is definitely there. I don't know if it's necessary, and it's definitely too much, I would say. But
it is too much. But you know what? It's fun. It doesn't really take itself seriously. It admits that what it's doing.
Right. Well, what I was going to say was that the best part of that show is the zombie effect. Like, it's like...
They do it really well.
Yeah.
They do zombies really well in that. And that's, like, something that people overlook because of how the show is.
Because, it was... I watched it, obviously, well before I saw or read any of The Walking Dead. So it was, even fresher than that.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what would a high school kid do if a zombie virus kind of broke out in the school? Mm-hmm. And then from there, they find shelter somewhere in the school, and they try to break out to find their family. It's kind of a whole thing.
Yeah.
So
now, a fan servicey anime that isn't as over the top, in fact, is much more grounded, would be Hellsing.
You're right. Yeah.
The guy who wrote it, Kota Hirano.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, he used to do a lot of, he did a lot of hentai. That's what he used to do.
Yeah, and before we go on, a lot of regular artists did that kind of work.
Yeah.
The guy who did Willy Wonka, Charlie and Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, and Dr. Seuss, he did a lot of stuff like that. So it's not like, but it's bigger in Japan because that's just where a lot of the manga artists start. That's what they get their start. They get start in hentai. That's just what they do. It's easy to get published.
Yeah.
So
anyways, this guy, that's where he got to start.
And so, obviously he still has that kind of background, and he works that stuff into, even his his normalized stuff. And, but the writing is really good in Hellsing. It is not over the top with the fan service. In fact, I can't remember if there's even any nudity in it.
I don't remember any, if there is.
In the entire book or any of the shows, there's actually a TV series, and then there was a series of OVAs, which were fantastic. Well, there is, I guess there is, but it's not done in a it's not like over the top. It's kind of like horrifying, more nudity than anything else.
Oh, right, because like vampires had killed some people and they happened to be naked or something. Yeah, something along those lines.
Yeah. It's not. It is a very violent manga and anime, though. Very violent.
Yeah.
It's like,
I would say not as violent as Berserk. Berserk is a whole new level of violence.
Berserk is like pretty crazy.
I mean, it's like,
although
it's like a
they both have the unique, I would say unique, honor of being the only two things I've ever seen something where a monster eats a baby.
Yes.
They're both that violent, and then Berserk just goes from there. So I mean,
yeah, that's pretty much. I'm pretty sure that's like the opening page of Berserk.
Yeah, so
something along those lines.
Yeah, so that's something to keep in mind.
But like something like Venus Wars, was nowhere near that violent. They kind of like escalated to some degree. But actually, Berserk probably started before Venus Wars.
I would have to check. It might have because Berserk's been going on for like 35 years.
Long time,
yeah. The manga, anyway. The anime did not go that long, unfortunately. So anyway, there are, and that's the thing about anime, though. There is literally something for everybody.
Fuck.
Did he die? She died. Miranda. That's too bad.
Losing everybody.
And we got this dickhead who does. Spoiler?
Yeah, it's a spoiler.
He does die.
Yeah.
So there, if you haven't watched a 25-year-old anime.
Yeah, don't get emotionally attached to Manuel.
Yeah, I actually don't think that's his name in the anime. This is kind of a janky translation. Oh, wait. Hang on. So I think there are a couple of these guys that die, because they kind of look similar. So, anyway, what was I saying? There's something for everybody for anime. And that's the reason why I like it. Like, if you like... and I actually can probably recommend something for each person. Like, people who are really into romantic anime, I would suggest Spice and Wolf.
Yeah, but I would also recommend it if you're into... like deep thought, kind of like tactical and planning anime. It shows that like person who outwits someone else.
Yeah, that is one of the litmus test kind of animes I have. It's like, do you like such and such and such and such? There's like 6 triggers there that you can pick, and then it's like, okay, you're gonna like Spice Wolf. If you like talking about economics, you're going to like Spice Wolf.
Yes.
If you like romantic plots that actually go somewhere, holy crap, you're going to like Spice Wolf. There's a lot of things there. So, hey, we killed those guys. But
is everyone dead?
Is everyone dead? Yeah.
I guess not.
No, I think they just didn't get as much experience.
Or they got more experience because... See, I think maybe it just went off of merit.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if they die at the end; they're still gonna get a shitload of experience.
Yeah. Will and Miranda, they cleaned up, so that's good.
When it comes to anime, I feel like I could just go on and on and on.
Yeah, I mean, so if you like ultra violence, Berserk.
We'll go ahead and start the next battle, but we probably won't finish it.
Yeah. If you... There's like a lot of people who like sci-fi, and if you don't want to see Ghost in the Shell, but you still like sci-fi, there are hundreds still. I would say I would recommend Venus Wars. I would also recommend Lily Cat. In fact, I couldn't recommend Lily Cat enough. So there's something for everybody though, and that's the amazing thing. It's not that way with everything else. With comic books, there really isn't something for everybody. With cartoons, regular Western cartoons, there's not really something for everybody, especially now, because basically all you have is SpongeBob.
All right, yeah. I'm trying to think here. If we're just gonna, I'm just kind of like rattling off suggestions. I really want to just kind of point out how much I love Berserk. It is incredibly violent.
If you want, I want to throw out a non-violent anime. One that's completely non-violent, is incredibly abstract, and I guarantee you have never seen anything like it before, and that is Bartender.
Yeah, as far as I know, there's no translation for that.
There's no translation. You gotta watch it subtitle. But it is the only subtitled thing, anime, that I would say is completely fine without it, because it is like, it's like a stage play. I've said this a lot of times when describing it to other people, because like people will walk on set and give a monologue and then walk off set and then they're not there anymore. That's kind of like how it is, you know.
Yeah, and it's like you have like the experience of a bar that you really want to have, but maybe you don't ever get in real life.
Yeah.
This is kind of like that. You get that experience, even though it may be an experience that doesn't really exist. It gives it to you.
It has, and I'm not going to spoil anything because it's honestly, it's one of those ones you have to watch for yourself. But the ending episode was one that we put off for a real long time. And when we watched it, it was, I don't know, it was like, I knew it was coming to an end, but I was okay.
Yeah.
A lot of times when it's something really, really good, and it comes to an end, you're not okay. Because it's like, it's over. There's nothing else I can do. But the nature of Bartender was such that you could move on with your life, and that was like the whole premise of the show, I guess you could say. So, yeah, that was one of those ones that's like, probably the most unique one I've ever seen. Now, the number one thing everyone thinks of when I first hear anime is mechs.
Yeah. Maybe one of the first things I think of.
The second thing has been covered already, and that is fan service. But yeah, mechs. Everyone thinks of mechs, and you know, there are some obviously popular ones. Gundam is, you know, extremely popular, and I actually was not a huge fan of Gundam though. And
I watched some of it, but yeah.
Every time we watch it, it's like, okay, when is this going to end?
Yeah, it's really just like, well, why do I care? And I don't.
But if you want a mech anime that is got a lot going on, Gunsword.
Yeah, Gunsword. I knew that would be the suggestion for that particular type of anime.
Yeah, Gunsword is like, it has to be seen to be believed. You know, there are times where it's like a little bit quirky, and I'm actually not a huge fan of quirkiness, and so it kind of grates a little bit, but the rest of the time it's like, holy crap, you know? It's like the Trigun of mechs. Trigun is another really popular anime that pretty much everyone knows of, and it has like, you know, it's moments where it's like really ridiculous, but then other moments where it's like mood whiplash. There is an episode of Gunsword that was not, I believe, not aired when it was originally on Toonami, because it's honestly a really fan service heavy episode, and it's really weird. Doesn't fit at all with the rest of the show. And That's like the only probably down part of the whole show. If you're planning on watching it all. And you kind of do have to watch it all because otherwise there's going to be a character that shows up out of nowhere.
It's like, what?
Yeah.
I think I might have a life bar.
You do. I think I just saw it during that fight. It's in the bottom left corner.
Just send wave after wave at my own guys until eventually I kill them.
Yeah. There's like one person left in this whole area.
There's 3.
Yeah,
It's really hard to get these guys, and you gotta kill them.
there you go. So, yeah, that's the one I would recommend. Another one that's not really mech, but it's a spaceshipy one with mech arms, and that would be Outlaw Star.
Oh, yeah. It's a great one.
That one's basically Firefly mixed with anime.
Yeah, and actually, I think Firefly probably stole a lot of the story plot.
Oh, it's actually, I think, was confirmed at one point by Joss Whedon that he borrowed that whole part out of it. So, yeah.
If you watch Firefly,
you'll recognize something.
yeah. Well, it's just the first episode. It's not really a huge spoiler.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say, like the starting cargo that the main character gets is like a giant briefcase, and then like some scuffle happens, and he decides to open it up and see what's inside, and there's this girl in there, and she's got special mind powers and stuff. So it's very similar to the origin, the beginning, I guess, of River in Firefly.
Yeah, it definitely influenced it. So that's a really.
I think there's one that it's like I would say it's impossible, or almost not say impossible, but it's difficult to make a recommendation on. Is like a comedy, because comedy in anime is really kind of like you have to be in a mood for it.
Yeah,
because I find the comedy to be kind of just like not relatable, and if it's funny, it's because you're not expecting it.
I've seen, there are times where non-comedic animes have comedy moments that are
actually
hilarious.
That makes me that actually laugh.
Yeah.
I think I actually found I can't come off the top of my head, but I know there were times when I was watching Ghost in the Shell, and I genuinely chuckled at some things.
Yeah, but it's few and far between. There were in Future Diary and a couple others like that. There were some funny parts too, but
Future Diary.
Yeah, Future Diary. With remember the girl, the pink hair and the knife.
Oh.
It's also called Miraniki.
Okay, yeah. I'm just surprised that that would be considered anything that was funny in that.
Well, there are parts that were like awkwardly funny, even though it's so horrible.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay, I think I remember some of those times.
Yeah. But then there's quickly someone dead.
Right. Yeah, and I think there's some anime that are like, this is a comedy anime, and I don't really find them to be that funny.
Yeah, the straight up comedy ones are the only ones that I've never been a fan of. But there are people who are fans of them, so maybe it's just that you have to be the type of person, and that's just the thing. Like I said, there's something for everybody. And they make a lot of video games into animes, and mostly fighters. Street Fighter got made into a really, really kick-ass anime. Darkstalkers got one, I believe, and
Darkstalkers got like an American cartoon too.
Yeah, which is weird. And there was a couple others too. I can't remember. Battery and Toshinden and a couple others that had animes. It's just this episode was more about us just gushing about animes, and also because I kind of saw this game on the shelf and I was saying, we have not played this in a while.
Yeah, it's hard. This game is hard.
Yeah.
I mean, it's original Nintendo, so you gotta get good at the game. To start out, it's not a foregone conclusion that you're gonna win the game, and in fact, that might be another episode where we talk about how games are now kind of designed to be you're going to win.
Right.
Like, that's just, you're going to win.
You're the baddest ass of all badasses kind of guy. No matter what, you're going to win.
And maybe we can talk about how some games actually do that well, and some games don't do that very well.
Yeah, I can definitely say that there are some.
But I think
we've.
I mean, like I said, we could go on. I could go on. Like, we haven't talked about, like, Sacred Blacksmith wasn't great, but it was pretty good.
That's one of those ones where I think about it every couple of days. Yeah, not every couple of days. That'd be crazy. Like every couple of months, and I think about it. It's like, I think that was better than I even thought it was, because there are times when I think about some of the stupid parts, but I think, man, the good parts are good though.
We go into detail of Trigun, like you did mention it, but like the things that were like that's amazing kind of thing that did.
Yeah, when there's a point in Trigun where it goes, oh my god, this is amazing.
The whole thing is about this guy who doesn't want to kill people, but also doesn't want anyone else to kill people, and it explains like why he's kind of like almost naive in that way.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it right now. He's like a not retarded Doctor Who.
Yeah.
I don't like Doctor Who, and this is like a much better version of it. It is.
And I just changed target. Just like that. He goes to extremes you wouldn't consider, maybe, at the gate, and maybe you would think to yourself, and like, I don't think I could do that.
Yes, there are times it's like, oh my god.
Like, I want this person dead. I want to kill this person, and I want someone to kill this person, and it's just, but, he kind of like...
You really get to feeling for him and stuff like that, because did you die?
No, I ran out of gas or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, that's one of those ones where you have to experience yourself, though, the whole show. There are, like I said, there are ones that we just don't like. We tried. You want one, though, okay, here's one I can recommend to anyone who just really likes action movies. One's action movies with, like Arnold Schwarzenegger blowing people's heads off, and then John Woo directed stuff where there are doves flying around, stuff like that. Watch Black Lagoon.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, watch Black Lagoon regardless of your opinion on any of these things.
Yeah. Black Lagoon was like an event when we watched that. It was we rented it from Netflix, the first disc, and we didn't know it was like that time where we were trying everything. Netflix, when it came out, we still had the DVD version, so we rented a lot of things that weren't available to be watched right away, and so it was really intense just coming up with all these different things we could watch. Well, let's try this. And Black Lagoon, I picked pretty much on the cover. I'm not gonna lie. But then I was so glad we watched it, because it's a show that really, if you look at just the covering and stuff like that, you think, oh, this is just a regular fan service anime. It's not. There's a lot of deep stuff that goes on, and then there's also a lot of action movie stuff, like the best action movie ever made times 11.
Well, here's the thing. And actually, Black Lagoon is a great one to bring us up on. Anime likes to do things where they will just take a story and then just go it.
Mm-hmm.
So the story of Black Lagoon is these, kind of like third world pirates are, doing pirate stuff. Like, not like pirates like, hoy matey. It's like
real ass today pirates.
Yeah, I mean they're doing smuggling cargo. They're killing people. It's crazy, and it's hard to explain. But it's like a story like a setup that gets done in anime. Happens all the time. Like a really cool story in. You just get it. But on if you were to like do this like in any other form of television, it would come out like once every I don't know, dozen or so years. Like they just don't really take that many chances.
Right.
But in anime, they just pump stuff out, and sometimes it's not good, but sometimes it's really, really cool.
Yeah.
And that's basically what Black Lagoon was like. That's a really cool idea to think about these pirates doing their thing.
Yeah.
And you get to just kind of go along for the ride.
And it's told in mostly story arcs, so like, you watch the first one to know why everyone's together, and then you could in theory watch the other story arcs kind of out of order if you wanted to. You don't have to watch them in order, but obviously I would recommend you watch them in order. But the story arcs are kind of self-contained adventures, so like, one is more heavily towards like involved around certain things. Like there's one episode series where they're all being attacked inside their base because they're harboring someone that everyone in town wants to kill. And that was really cool because you see all these different like killers that have these different abilities trying to kill them and stuff like that, and then they fight back. It's one of those ones that I can't recommend enough. It's like Ghost in the Shell, but not as cerebral, more just because it's the best, like I said, the best action movie you'll ever watched.
Yeah, and I say
if there was but I'm trying to think, what's a good gateway anime, one that's easy to like get into.
I would say Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah, I mean honestly, of the like super mainstream animes, that one's my favorite.
And there's 1,000 different. There's like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. There's the original ones. I don't know which one I watched. I'll be honest.
It was the original TV series.
Original TV series. Just go with that one. If you're on the fence, like just go with that one. It's fine.
But I will say that a slightly less mainstream, actually I think maybe considerably less mainstream, but just as easy to watch and get into, Pumpkin Scissors.
Yeah.
And in fact, I would probably recommend it slightly more than Full Metal Alchemist because of the character development, and it's a shorter thing. It's not like Full Metal Alchemist is like something like 75 episodes or something like that.
Yeah.
There's like 15 episodes of Pumpkin Scissors or something like that. So
that's true. I didn't finish Full Metal Alchemist. I just liked the
thought,
of it, the ideas, the little story arcs that they did in the show.
Yeah.
And then I kind of moved on to other shows. So I think it's a good introductory if you're like not sure what it is do you like about anime. There's a lot of different things going on in Full Metal Alchemist that you can just kind of like.
And there's one particular thing that happens in Full Metal Alchemist that really
super dark, and it may get darker, or maybe that's the darkest thing.
I'm pretty sure that's the darkest thing. I think it's the darkest thing in any show ever. But yeah,
it's a super spoiler. I don't want to.
I wouldn't even say anything about it, but I would actually suggest Pumpkin Scissors, big time, because it's easy to digest. It has amazing story. One of my all-time two favorite characters, actually, the two favorite characters ever in terms of like basic animes anyway, like the more mainstream, easy to digest animes, are those two. And honestly, I kind of wish it showed up more. Not many people talk about it, and I don't know why. That was another one though that we got from renting on Netflix. So I
guess another thing. I guess more of a tip than anything else. What I would recommend if you're just starting anime, you've got to, like we did with Netflix. Don't just watch one episode. Right. Watch the first 4 or 5 episodes.
Yes.
And I know that's like, oh, that's such a huge commitment. It's really not. Just just do it. It's because it may not be good. You may not like that particular anime, but you gotta really kind of give it a shot because I know there are several.
There are also
I was like the first episode I was like that was dumb. I don't want to watch that. But then I kept watching it, and after like about 5 episodes, and I was like, this is great.
I would also say that the reverse is true. The first episode, I was like hooked, and then I realized this is stupid. And I want to say Angel Beats did that.
Oh yeah.
The first episode, I was like, this is going to be a good one. I can't wait to watch this. And then I watched 3, maybe more episodes, and there were still a couple good parts. There's like this concert part that I thought was actually pretty cool. The premise of that show is like everyone that dies, they're in like a high school of people in another world,
like a limbo like thing,
and then they can eventually pass on to another life. And there was this is a lot of spoilers. I mean,
it had a kind of a sad tone to it.
Yeah, it did. In the first episode, they show them like fighting against this like other thing that was like, I guess, like an angel almost. It was like,
it was a very mysterious thing. It was like something that was like, going around like killing them or something.
They were resisting the flow of them having to move on. They didn't want to move on, and so I was interested in that. I thought this could be good. And then there was one particular episode that involved this one person that wanted to put on like the ultimate concert when she was in school, and
it was kind of like resolving the things you didn't do in life.
That one I liked, but the rest of it was not very good, and so I actually didn't finish it. And I would say the same goes for Mad Lax. I was really on board with Mad Lax for the first couple episodes, and then I got really bored to the point that I have still not finished it.
Yeah, and the person that made Mad Lax actually made a couple other. One was Noir, which I also did not like.
We actually finished it though.
Yeah,
and it was horrible. But the best one they ever did, El Cazador de la Bruja.
Yeah.
Skip the other two. Watch El Cazador.
It's actually good.
It's really good. So you gotta give it a chance. But you also gotta watch it enough to make sure that you actually like it. Because you don't want to watch the first episode and think, this is amazing! I'm gonna tell everybody I know to watch this. And then finally I found out, man, it sucks.
Yeah, that's basically how it goes.
I'm trying to think if there was one though that I ended up liking more after I watched the first episode. Kanan, oh my god. The first episode of Kanan, hated it. Went back and watched it later, I think it was like a couple months later. Watched the second episode, and it was like, I couldn't stop watching it.
Yeah, it ended up being really good. The tanks are so much easier to kill. I don't know if I've mentioned anything about this game, but the tanks are way easier to kill than the flyers.
Yeah. But, I think we've gone on long enough, and this is actually a pretty good spot. It
is a pretty good spot, except I'm 3 kills away from beating the second level here. So, this will be as far as I've ever...
3 more characters to kill?
No, just now I'm just at 1 more tank.
Oh, wow.
Right there. There it is.
Wow. Nice.
So now, mission complete. We'll be on the 3rd mission. And, so many more to go.
Scary starts governing ability. Defend the truck and ward off another potential crisis.
So there we go. There is Venus Wars, and there are long kind of like rant about how much we like good anime and
how much we don't like Cowboy Bebop.
Yes.
And
which we didn't go into too much detail.
Dragon Ball Z.
But we don't like this.
I also don't like Bleach. Didn't mention it. Probably should put that out there. Or Naruto.
Or any of the ones that are like, clearly designed to just be made for selling, something like Digimon. Like, some people consider that a real anime. I consider it.
I don't like Digimon.
Stupid shit.
I have nostalgic feelings for Pokemon.
Yeah.
And one I really want to watch again, because I actually remember it being like way deeper than Pokemon, but I can't remember for sure. Monster Rancher.
Yeah, I don't remember hardly anything about that show.
I remember like thinking, man, this is intense. Back to Meowth, man, the bad guy said these, people with deep personal backstories. But I don't really remember if it actually was any good. But,
So there it is. So we'll see you next time, I guess.
Yep.